Welcome everyone to our Software Inc. series here as we start our new company, Bison Corp. Before we get started, there's a few things to go over here. One, this is Mr. Bison. He's our lead founder and our main character. And then we have two other main characters that are our co-founders, which is Norma Finch and Fletcher Flores. Now, all of them have the same personality traits. We chose that before we got started here. So we got big brain, which means they have no specialization point limit in their main role. So that's why we have all of the designer filled out here. Now you'll see we have some points left over. Those will be saved. I don't really think we'll be making any hardware here. I'm saving those points later for 3D and network when those pop up. So we're going to be holding on to those for now. And then you also see we have capacitor, which means they will not get tired until energy is completely drained. That'll give us an advantage, at least in the early game, when we're knocking out contracts and we can keep, and even some of our first products, and we can keep the team a lot later than if we didn't have this. Now, there's some other client things you can take. RGB thumb is a pretty good one as they fix their computer while they're using it. We're just going to hire people to come fix it. And then our negative traits, because we have two green traits, we have to take two negative traits, are silent but deadly. No one will take the elevator with them. We can live with that. And they won't use cars. So very eco-friendly founders we have here. Very Silicon Valley-esque, I guess. And let's see what else we got here. So all of them are going to be inspiring. None of them are going to be leaders. We're going to hire different leaders to take care of those kind of like HR management things on their teams. Eventually they're all going to have their own team, and they will all be lead designers. So our main man here, Mr. Bison, is going to focus on 2D editor. And Norma Finch is going to focus on our audio tool. And Fletcher Flores is our game designer. So you'll see they all have kind of different variations in their points. I've already pre-selected them. So for audio tool, Norma here is going to have kind of full audio picked out and a little bit of the other two, where Mr. Bison, our 2D editor, is going to be system 2D and then a little bit of audio. And then Fletcher Flores kind of just has a little bit of everything. That's going to help early on in late game, so we're going to kind of just hold on to those for now. And then you'll see all of their other attributes, their leader attributes. Now, they won't be running any HR tasks. Like I said, we're going to hire other leaders to take care of that. So we kind of just put the points in socialization and multitasking, kind of help out with team and just kind of extra bonuses, since they won't be doing project management or HR. So those two are useless to us. And then when it comes to service, they'll be doing a little bit of support in the early game, nothing later, and then maybe a marketing point for all of them as well, just so maybe if we're going to run some early marketing ourselves, that they have at least the capability to write press releases. And then, so we're gonna be in 1980, like I said, and the difficulty is just gonna be the standard difficulty. These are everything that comes along with that. You can go ahead and take a look at those if you would like. Now, we are going to be building our own plot right out of the gate. So we're going to need to take a loan and then another loan, but to actually start, so when you pick a map, so this is going to pop up because we have those extra points here, but that's okay. When you start, you could just jump into the garage, or I guess any of them. But the standard would be to jump into the garage and with those starter funds and kind of use a pre-built scenario. Now we're going to go the empty plot route so we can just kind of not have to move later and just redesign and buy more plots. And each empty plot has their own pros and cons, you could say. So for example, the city has a very high talent pool. The plot cost is medium. The added tax is 25%. Utilities costs are low. And then when traffic density is high. And if we were to go to the rural, the talent pool is low and the plat cost is low, zero added tax, the internet provider is high, and kind of the opposite of the city. So we're going to actually kind of go that middle round, well, that middle ground with a medium talent pool, a high plat cost, which is kind of funny that it's higher than the city. But just kind of a medium between the two. So we're going to take that, and then we're going to go ahead and get started here. Bison Corp is going to kick off. All right, so we're immediately going to pause the game. We're going to get in our build here and look at our little plot. And then we're going to go ahead and actually we're going to take a bigger loan. So we're going to have to stretch that out and then kind of come up with a monthly cost that we can deal with. So let's take, we should be able to get off the ground with this. If not, then we've got bigger issues. So we're going to take that. We're going to take a $500,000 loan. And that's going to add a monthly cost of about $13,000, $13.5. We're going to take that. Ooh. Great way to start the game. Debt. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and build our first office. So we're going to keep it relatively simple. Now, because we did pick 3 kind of lead designers that are inspiring, they all are going to require their own office. Now, I will say Mr. Bison is a little picky, and he is going to require, oh, that's going to annoy me. That is going to annoy me. All right, we are going to, I know what we'll do. We will delete this, of course. We'll do this, we'll drag the walls in, and then we're going to move that over to a smaller office. Oh, if that was left over like that, that would have annoyed me. And then we'll put bathrooms in over here, so we'll do that. Free wall. There we go. Okay, and now doors in here, and then so they'll all get their own office. If they didn't get their own office, the founders, so if you went to the garage, you can lease a space in the garage, so you can kind of create one office. And then if you did take that option, then the issue with that is the other 2 founders that don't get the office would be really pissed about it, and they kind of would not be as effective. They drop pretty significantly to like 10-20% effectiveness, and that's a real issue. This is going to be Mr. Bison's office because he is really picky and he thinks he's better than the rest of them. So he's going to have nice windows all around. And the others are not going to get that. They'll get a couple windows. Look at that. He gets something, but that nice corner office, that's what he gets for getting the company named after him. And then we'll have to set up a few things since we went this route. Like bathrooms, we'll make a little meeting room and things of that nature that we wouldn't have had to do if we went the other route. But I'm going to go ahead and get this set up real quick, and I'll be back and kind of walk you through some of the things that I did. Okay, so I'm finishing up the offices here. Our little starter office. So I probably overdid it on the bathrooms. Um, probably overdid it on this too. We can I drag that in. That should be fine. So we have three main offices, and then we have a bigger office as we expand out here. Um, I'd put heating and cooling over here. When you make the building, there's a couple things you need. You need kind of like a meeting canteen room, which is just like a cafeteria. You need some bathrooms. Certain people require offices, such as our leaders. I'm choosing to make a reception area because we might, depending on how we expand, we might kind of jump into some contracts early, some deals. You need a receptionist for that. I find that to be pretty advantageous. So we might we might do that. We might not. We can always change it later. And then if we look into the offices, so you'll see you haven't played this game before, and I'm no expert. I've played it a few times and I enjoy it. I don't know everything, but I do kind of know, at least the basics and a little bit more than that. So you'll see the environment and all these things here kind of affect how the workers are, whether they get upset or not. So you're looking for about a 200% environment, and that comes from stuff like this, like pictures on the walls, bookshelf, rug, plants, things like that. But the bookshelf, and you'll see I put a bookshelf, a clock, and then one of the other things I did was put a calculator. I'll come down here and put a calculator on their desk, and what that does, there's a couple things you can put on their desk for different reasons. So if you have a really noisy office, a lot of people next to each other, you can put headphones there, and it makes them more comfortable with the noise. Though it does create um, social isolation there. But depending on what their traits are, it's okay, it's not okay. But the main things that you'll usually see is like service people answer calls, and for support they'll get phones, and artists can get drawing tablets, and all these, they have little bonus effects to each thing. So all of my people are kind of going to be doing a little bit of everything. So they're going to get the calculator, and their leader, for example, will get the inbox because it increases their lead effects. But you'll see the clock. You see the room here has some effectiveness bonuses and skill bonuses and mood, and that stems from kind of the things we put in there. So the skill from the calculator, I believe, and the clock is the effectiveness. They're always watching the clock because the man's watching them, making sure they're doing their job. And then the bookshelf over here, maybe that's the skill. Not really sure. I think that's the skill. This is a separate bonus. But all of the little tree on the desk helps that. The windows, like I said, Mr. Bison, he's a picky man, and he said it's the company's named after me. I get the nicer office, so we set that up that way. Now there is one last thing I need to do here, and that is smoke detectors in every room, because what happens is when you build out here, the fire marshal shows up, and if you don't have these smoke detectors and what's that, sprinklers in every room, they are mad, and they fine you for it, which we don't have enough money for. So we're gonna go ahead and put those in, and then we'll do a little coloring. So let's see the exterior. We don't care about that. We'll make him green, and then change the floor color. Maybe go blue. Here we'll do a little. Keep doing the exterior. Interior, we'll do that and that. And we'll come over here. This. floor. Boom. Everyone's got their own little colored office. So then come over here and I'm going to assign to Mr. Bison, Fletcher Flores, and Norma. All right, so they got their own offices. You don't have to assign it. Well, in this case, because there's only 3 desks, they would just kind of walk in and pick one of them. But I'm just gonna make sure Mr. Bison gets his extra windows so he doesn't get mad at us. And then, other than that, we will expand out here as we grow the teams. But for now, we're just gonna be taking contracts that would using our 3 founders, so we don't need to do that. I think I have everything done. Oh, there's one last thing. We are going to set up a server that we can put. You can always move it later, but we're going to put a server that we can put our programming on. Home dedicated server, so we don't have to pay anyone. We'll just take the default for these. Bathroom. Canteen. There we go. That's nice. And reception. Very pleasant. This is going to annoy me that it's just gray. What's this? Brick? Yeah, maybe we'll do a little interior. Very nice. Apply that. Switch the color to maybe nice. Keep doing the exterior. There we go. Well, I guess the outside it's now purple. And we'll do inside, floor. Hate that. Maybe a little lighter color. Okay. All right. So we are good to go here. I'm gonna get out of construction. I think I have everything. If not, sure that they will tell us. We have doors everywhere. And so yeah, we're gonna get this started. So we're gonna get a build mode. We are going to open our contracts. And bad. So all of these, essentially our goal is we're just gonna try to collect some money while we can. Raise some funds so we can go ahead and start making our own programs. But with that, we cannot do it broke. And so we are going to have to do a bunch of contracts that apparently people are paying for horrible quality. So we're going to go ahead and get some of these done. So we'll accept all those. And then before I forget, we did take the capacitor so we can work extended hours. So we're going to stretch that and then make sure our vacation time. If you don't change the vacation time, it usually presets to, I think when you start like this, and then if you forget and you expand the team later on, like half your team can take vacation and it's just miserable. So we're going to extend that now. I guess I can show you a few other things. If you really want to get like really micromanagey, which probably won't, you can come in here and kind of affect the roles. So if you see it's black, then that'll be like their first priority. And then you can set it gray where it's their second priority. So for example, they're all designers, so I might let them stay black so they focus on design, and then if they're done with design, then they'll focus on programming. So we're not going to do that. We're going to just kind of leave it to default. I don't want to be the biggest micromanager during this. The only thing I might do for now is we're not, you know what, we're not even going to get that started. We're going to let it be. So we'll get that going. And yeah, we are good to go here. So we don't need receptionists now because we don't need the deals. The main focus right now is we got to get our business reputation up, and once we get that up, we'll be able to get some deals. And some of the things I like to do early, I'll explain when we get there, is take some service calls, because that'll usually fund some kind of our first project. once we have some money in the bank. So, all right, let's get Bison Corp off the ground. So we'll speed up time here, get everyone in the... Oh, almost forgot. One last thing. When you're doing the contracts in the beginning of the game, what you want to do is you want to open up your manage teams and set it to 1. And because what that will do, if you leave it to infinity, they'll just kind of be working on random projects. But if you set it to 1, they'll just go in order. So just a helpful tip. All right. Anyways, let's get this started and get our bad, horrible work out the door. Look at everyone in their nice little office. Oh, okay, coffee break right in the morning. That makes sense. Don't make it at home, I guess. And promote, finish. Nope, finish. Outstanding. And what we're doing here is the longer you let that green bar go up, the more iterations it'll do and the better quality that you'll get. So you'll see in the beginning here, we're just kind of it's all required bad and horrible. So we just need one finished iteration of it. Probably don't even need the full. And then what'll happen in the next is a blue line will appear, and that'll kind of be like the minimum requirements you need for it. So you can go ahead and just kind of crush it early. But you'll see as we get our business reputation up here. So here's a good example. So we already got a better expected quality, mediocre, and as we go up, it'll start to kind of turn to good, great, and outstanding. So the plan is to kind of knock out as many of these contracts as we can, get some money in the bank, hire some people, and get some stuff off the ground. But it does take a little bit, because before you start kind of making a project, you're gonna have to hire some people to meet the demands, and people are expensive, so you need some money kind of get that going. So we're kind of just gonna take all these contracts for a bit, kind of get us going. Oop. I'm going very fast. Just technically being inefficient, but what are you gonna do? Satisfactory. I'll grab one more, see if we can get out before they leave. And outstanding. Everyone went home. We will skip for the day. Our business stars are going up quite rapidly, which is great. Everything's already at mediocre. We're going to take all of these. Go a little slower. Wait a second. Keep an eye on the computer. Still 90%. Develop. And then this is the blue line I was talking about. Inadequate. Well, that's not good for what we're trying to do. Fix 2 bugs. Oop. Okay. Alright. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is going to be inadequate. Yep. We developed that earlier. I got a real clicky on the development button there. Good. So essentially, the higher quality, you're going to have to let that first stage go longer and then complete more in this stage to make sure that you're meeting those requirements. Fix a couple bugs. Outstanding. We are outstanding at mediocre here at Bison Corp. And develop. And everyone's going home. We'll come in, clean the place. When I finish that, we will take... Here we go. So we're already kind of starting to get those bigger contracts, so... I'm looking to get our business reputation kind of up to 6 stars. And the reason for that is we're going to be hiring high salaried workers kind of right from the beginning. You can get low and then educate them over time and everything. I just find it more beneficial to get high out of the gate. That's just my opinion. You can play it differently. Um, like I said, not an expert, so you can kind of do it however you want. I just like to get the people with the top quality. Makes it easier to make some of your deadlines and stuff. See, how's he doing it? Look at that, typing away. Nice little corner office. That's pretty nice. I don't think I made that better. Was that the exterior again? I keep doing that. Interior. Look at that, nice panels. Nice wooden panels. Some of my electronics are being affected by the heat. Server. Okay. Because this is not designated as an office. Not getting the cooling. So what I did over here was I put, you can, especially in a smaller office, you can definitely do this a different way. But when you build your own office, you have to heat and cool it. And if you put these in, they're more expensive and they kind of take up space, the heat pump and the roof AC. But what you can do is anything that's designated as anything that needs to be heated or cooled, you can just kind of click a button and it mostly will automatically do it. But because this is currently not an office, no desks or anything, it is not being cooled. So instead of actually making this difficult for myself, we are going to shove this we're gonna shove this in Norma's office. All right, Norma, you're gonna, oh, that's Fletcher. You know what, Fletcher? You're gonna have to deal with that noise. Hope you don't get mad about it. We'll move it later, but didn't even move it. We copied it. What am I stuck on? We don't want to wire. Well, they're wired. Not what I was going for. How do I get off the servers now? Well, this is something. If I go to play. I have no idea how I got stuck on this. And not click anything. I've never had this happen to me before. Of course. Undo. Oh, I'm on the wiring tool. Wow. I never said I was smart. At least not yet. Probably never. Well, we'll see. Copied it again. Boom. Now Fletcher has a server in his office and we are good to go. Alright, so back to it. So I'm going to knock out some of these contracts. I'm just going to kind of fast forward through it a little bit. I will pause the next time we do something important, maybe start like our first hire or something like that. So We'll do a little time lapse here. Yeah, our goal is to get probably around 2 million in the bank before we start making our own product. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if it's enough, but we are going to find out. All right, so time lapse commence. Okay, so we've just got our business reputation to 4 stars, and people are starting to respect Bison Corp a little bit. They're coming in with good, great, good quality requests, which is a lot better than what they presented us in the beginning when they thought we could only do horrible work. So from that, we're going to expand the team now. Because larger contracts are going to start coming in, and with that we're going to need a little bit of help. So with that, we're going to go back in the build here. Now, like I said, this wasn't an office before because there was no desks or anything, but we're going to change that. Let's see, how do we want to set this up? So I think at first we can kind of make some cubicles here. Everyone likes a good cubicle, except for the people that have to work in them, like myself. I'm a cubicle guy. Fit another one here on the wall. And we're gonna have to fix this room up a bit now that people are actually working it. So we already have the clock and stuff. See, this is what I was talking about. So now that we can click this AC and $200, and oh, and now I have to do the same thing for the heat. So now, because there's offices in here, it automatically wired it for us. And so we're not gonna expand too quickly. So probably go properly. Yeah. Fine. ugly. Wow, that's that's got to be the worst cubicle in the whole place. I almost feel bad for that one. What are you gonna do? Someone's got to do it, right? Let's change the floor. Fun green. Make them happy. Make them feel like they're not coming to an office all day typing. And then, okay, so now we have to do the other thing. So like I said, we already have the clock on the wall. These are going to be programmers. And then, you know what? This will be our lead. That'll be their desk. Little tiny one. We don't have to, they're not typing the code. They don't have to be, they don't need as much space to relax as our nice programmers and designers need. And then, what else do we need? The room's at 200. How could it be at 200%? I get the plants. I'm not really sure, but we do need some bookshelves. You don't need that many, but that actually might be bad as we expand the office. So we're gonna put it over there. Yeah, that looks bad. Right there. There we go. Looks a little. And so we'll do that, and we will hire our first program, right? 200% effectiveness mood. Might need some plants too. There we go. And then we might need another clock as well, because the room is so large. Never find the clocks. There we go. Now we're perfect on our effectiveness. Gotta put clocks so people know that don't waste our time. We're paying you good money. I think. I don't know. We haven't hired you yet. I'm gonna try to pay you the least amount of money I can. Anyways. Alright, so we already have designers, so we're gonna go in here and select programmer, secondary role designer, and like I said, we're gonna go high salary, and we're gonna make sure that they're compatible with our core team. And then out of the gate, we're gonna want some systems, some 2D, some audio. I don't think we're gonna be making any hardware, but who knows? Who knows? We don't need it right now. And then I would like the capacitor trait, since right now we're working a lot of hours. There's a couple things I don't want. So like I said, there's positive and negative traits, and there's kind of different groups of them. Cup holder might be the worst. They occasionally break their computer. Like, imagine being in the middle of an office and just smashing your computer. So we're gonna right click that. We don't want that. Forgets their specialization. That is horrible. I'm hiring you to be a systems programmer and you forget. We don't like stressed either. This is gonna limit our application pool, but we'll take that. And what else? Some of these are just irritating, but it's raining right now, so we'll look for that, and then we'll see. All right, we got one applicant. So what is she? So she's normal compatibility, which is fine. We can take normal. Anything normal and above we can take. She's slow eater, capacitor, modest. We'll take that. A little bit of art, 2D and system. We're gonna hire her. And we're gonna go in here and let's take 2D out. Let's see what we got. Yeah, okay. Now system and audio. So we will take that. Normal, silent but deadly. Right? People will not like to take the elevator with you. That half our office at this point can't take the elevators together because they all fart on them. We're gonna hire her. All right, so that's that, and then what I might do. So we're gonna do a couple more contracts, and then I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna hire a couple support people over here by the front, and then we'll get a receptionist and maybe get some support deals once our business reputation goes a little higher. So okay, well, we don't have any contracts, so we'll skip to the next day, and hopefully we should be getting some of the bigger contracts. We'll pause there, and yeah, so this is what I was expecting. So for great quality, we don't really like great, that's quite high. We will take good. We'll take good. So we're going to knock out a few more of these pretty big contracts, and then we'll be ready to launch our first product, and we'll have to figure out what that is. So go ahead here and accept this. So I'm going to skip back into the time lapse real quick, and then we'll get right back to it. Shouldn't need too much more, and then with the support and the deals, since we get our business reputation, at this point we're kind of just waiting on the business reputation. We really should be good to go to start launch for Bison Corp to start launching its own products. So not too far off at this point. Look at them go. I knew they'd be great hire. Who is this? Monty Pool. The room is quite nice and quiet. I'm happy for you, Monty. Clean the place up. You know what? Probably a little too early, but we're just gonna hire someone because I don't want to keep looking at those buttons. Cost a few $1,000s, but we're big boys now. We're doing the big contracts. Anyway, I said we were gonna hop into a time lapse, and here we go as I finish up these last contracts before we get started. Okay, so we're at 4 stars. Probably should go to 6, but I think with 1.5 million, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a receptionist. Make this room a little nice. Probably need security. They're too small for security. So we'll just make a little room here. Oh, nice, very nice. Put some paintings up on the wall. Welcome to Bison Corp. What's the room in here? 200%. Oh, that's where the door is. Whoops. I'm just blocking the door with a tree here. You know what? Open the Bison Corp. Make it look semi-nice. See if this looks nice. I hate that that's off-centered. We're gonna do this. That's worse. So if you hit Alt, you can kind of get it off. Do that. There we go. That looks much nicer. And funny, you think when you're playing these games that stuff doesn't matter until you have to look at it, and then you're like, that like right here. I need another one. Boom. Okay. And then what we're also gonna do move be that radiator there, huh? Okay, well, we're just gonna build it real quick. Cool. Desk. I know there's a computer in here somewhere. Put a phone. And so we're gonna, once we get the receptionist, we'll start getting deal offers, and hopefully we'll get some support ones. And what we'll do is we'll take those, and that should support us through our first product. So go ahead and manage staff. The risk, because if we don't get them, we're just gonna kind of run through money. So we'll hire that receptionist, and then we'll take, go to service, support, whatever, secondary, whatever you need. They'll just be running support for us, but we might use them in the early stages. We can get them because they're going to be on our team. We'll do that, and look, we got 2 out of the gate. Hypochondriac calls out more often. That's not great, but we'll hire them for now. What are their names? Now, usually I would set up separate rooms, but it's early, so the way I'm doing this, I'm gonna apply them to those seats. So that is Gladys Daniel, Scotty Ramsey. Welcome to the team. Those are yours. You know what? We just feel bad, you know, answering the phones all day. Maybe we should give them some wins. Right? I feel like it's the least we can do. Like that was generous of us. All right, so we're gonna go to the next day. We'll do one more contract as we see as those deals come in. We'll do one more contract, and then we will. Great. We don't like great. It's good. We'll take good. All right, and then we'll launch our own product. And then we will take the deals up here, put this in the corner. Called in sick. He worked for us for 2 months. Not even, have you even accrued enough time for calling in sick? You're gonna have to explain that to Mr. Bison. Oh, imagine taking a new job 2 months later, calling out sick. You just got here. Print. Oh, here come the jobs. Print job, manufacturing. We're looking for support. So you know what? We're going to switch that to support. And you know what? We should check. We'll make this program. All right, we got 2 more. Friend maker, ambassador, 3-star support. Hello, Mabel Gross. Welcome to the team. And we'll give you that seat. And then, so I know we talked about the micromanage earlier. Sorry. We're gonna have to change their roles to just handling support, and we'll probably turn everyone else off just because we're all on one team right now, or else that'll kind of affect what else we're doing. And we'll finish up this last contract here. Satisfactory. We'll take satisfactory. And then we're going to go in and make our first product. So the first product we're going to do is, what is your specialty? What is Mr. Bison's specialty? We're going to focus on. He is a 2D editor. So that is going to be the first thing that we make. 2D editor. And we're going to need a publisher, but we'll get back to that. We'll go in here. Put it on our server. We will make a new framework. Ooh, what are we going to call it? Well, let's see. We'll call it Painted. Wow. Very creative. I know. Sometimes it's hard to be this creative. We're going to remove that, add, check our active users on the operating systems here. All right. Add all of those. Then we can come up here and hit the analyze. What do people want? All right, they want they want everything. Not gonna do that stuff. That's way too much. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to hit these lines, and that's going to help raise our expected interest. But once we start kind of going over, that's where you'll see wasted interest. We don't necessarily want that. Can we get a little bit retouching? Oh, okay. Liquefy. Oh. All right. About 14%. That's not great. Drop it down. 97%. That's fine. It's our first one. And because we have no market recognition, I don't think we're going to create 9 programmers. All right, so we might have to hire a few people. Hopefully the support jobs come in. And we will call this Painted Framework. And let's see, lead designer, Mr. Bison. And we are going to have to take a publisher. So these two both have some market recognition. That's going to help us. Then what is, so we're at approximately 2 years to make. We're going to hire a few people. This one's giving me a better deal. So they'll do the marketing for us. And then they'll take 25.3%, but after 5.9 times what they've spent of recouping, they're going to recoup that, and then they'll lower it to 18.9, where these guys only 4.5%, and they're both asking for the same, both giving us the same amount of time. So we're going to take that one, and we're gonna change the name. We're gonna call it 2D Ultra Graphics. Wow, that's too much. 2D Ultra Graphics. Oh, you know what? 2D Bison Graphics. There we go. Now it's better. And so we're going to go ahead and hit develop. And the whole team's on it now. We're going to fill out the rest of our team. But let's see. So we have 3 extras. So we have 2 open seats currently. But we're going to get another designer. Really hoping some support deals come in. I was really banking on that for. All right, Sheila, you have a little bit of everything. And programming too, we'll take that. I think we should be good, but we'll kind of just see how it goes from here. When does this release? June 1984. So just cruise here. So we have some people for education. Now, you know what? I don't really want to deal with that. So we are going to hire a team lead. Yet again, we are banking on those deals because we are really spending money. And she will be a backup programmer, salary high, HR, because we want her to deal with HR, and then automation, because we might in the future have her or him take over some project management. So we got one neat freak, slow eater, automation, great, a little bit in design. All right, so we will hire you to core, and then we will come in here, change roles, make you leader, handle salaries, education, and right now we're going to set it to 1. So the education level is just how high, how many points that they can kind of gain, and the education amount is how many people on the team at one time will be out getting educated. Because when you get skill points, it's called being educated. You have to spend a month not in the office, which is a day, actually getting that point. So we're gonna only have one person out at a time. Later we might raise that as the teams get bigger, but for now we want that as low as possible. And then we're gonna do all the hiring for now, so we don't have to fill this in. So that, and then like I said actually before, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in here, and for all the people, oh no, Bison, that threw me off. You are not a founder, you are left click, that's what it is. All right, we're gonna make sure that they're doing support first for all the people that we hired for support. Ramsey, all right. So what I'm doing right here is now for our 3 support people, hopefully we get some deals. They will focus on the support calls before they help with the before they help with anything else. Now that we have that, we're gonna go ahead and keep going here. You know, I did this office pretty quickly, but it actually came out a lot nicer than I thought. Mr. Bison got his nice windows. I mean, I wouldn't be too mad to have one of these offices either. Fire inspector. All right, that'll be our first test. Our first test whether we put smoke detectors in everywhere correctly. What's that? And called in sick. People are always sick in this office. And then so now that we're making our own product, like I touched on in the beginning, is these iterations. The more iterations you do, the better quality the product. So the max you can do is 4, and when you're making your own product, you really kind of want to make sure that you get to 4. You don't have to. You can release it with lower quality, but in the end, it'll be much worth it to kind of wait out that time. So that's kind of why it takes a lot of time, and you want to make sure you have some money in the bank, which I'm hoping we didn't need a higher business reputation for the support, because I was really banking on that to carry the salaries. But you know what they say about assumptions, so we could have been way off on that. We wanted to do some contracts. But we're really making good time, actually. Look at him. Wait, where's our receptionist? Who are you talking to? Oh, over there. Do I have the desk backwards? Huh. I think I do. Oh. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, so we're just cruising. We're in iteration 3, so one more iteration to go. Very colorful office. Look at all these people. Snoozing, taking breaks. We got money to make. We are really losing money here. What kind of offers are we getting? Print, marketing. Marketing. Of course I went support. Ooh, taxes. That definitely just shortened our time frame. We're definitely at this point gonna have to take. We can't get these support deals. We might have to take a contract or two in between. We're definitely on time, but money is definitely going to be an issue. So we're gonna kind of take a peek over here. Good. 400K. We might. I think we're gonna knock out a contract real quick since I underestimated. Oh, of course. What? Those are the chances, right? As soon as I take the contract, we get the support deal. And another. Well, now we're going to finish the contract because we don't want to ruin our business reputation right now. And then, so what's going on is, so we took 2 contracts that are both paying us $13,000 a month. And we just kind of have to keep the satisfaction high so the calls will come in. And as long as these are hitting zeros, then we know that our support team is able to handle it. And that'll just kind of help fund us. See, we're already making profit. Oh, from the contract, yeah. So a couple more support deals and we'll be in the green. Which is good. And I think 3 people should be able to handle a few of these. So we're going to finish that and get back to work. Which is July 1982. This will also help raise our business. When you're doing these support deals and stuff, they'll also help raise your business reputation as long as you're handling them fully. So for us, since we're not doing the contracts right now, that'll definitely help us out, and it helps with hiring and all that stuff. But we are about a third of the way through our last iteration before we can start programming and get our first product, 2D Bison graphics, out the door. Everything is going pretty smooth so far. Probably could have expanded the team a little bit more, but what are we? The system. Everything's pretty even right now. I'm looking at these bars on the left here, kind of see how they're filling up. If one was, let's say, 2D was way higher or something like that, I might have to adjust the team. Also, I need to make sure that this seat is going to the leaders, because I did put our leader again. Jeannie Wood. Well, Jeannie, that's where I put the little leader book thing. We're gonna assign this to Jeannie Wood. Another thing, if you don't know, there's a all companies tab here, and another thing you can do, which I'm going to try not to do, but if you want to do in your own games to kind of make life a little easy, is if you open the markets, you can right click it and then maybe shorten some of these. But if you filter by founded, new companies will get started kind of all the time. We are going to hire another designer real quick. 2D. We'll just focus on 2D with everything else. I think we have room for one more person. 2D hardware. No, we don't want hardware. So, welcome to the team. Just kind of quicken that up. So anyway, companies will pop up. So if you filter by latest founded, and what you can do is you can click on them, and they will offer you stock. So you can buy stock into the companies, and as they put products out, their valuations will go up, and so will your stock. And it's another way to kind of earn money, and especially in the early game, it's extremely helpful. One of the only things is sometimes you get unlucky and companies will start with like 108 million, 88 million valuation, and you only can buy like 1%, so it's hard to afford those companies, and they won't go up as much, at least from what I've seen. So it won't be as helpful as kind of brand new companies. So we'll check in on this one just as an example. So Pixel right now is at 5 million. Yep, we'll take your salary increases. And then see, now it's at 5.1 million, and yeah, and then over time it'll go up as they release products. They'll go up and up. So just something to keep an eye on if you don't know. And then so we did get 2 more contracts. It looks like they're handling them pretty well. Now 13, 13, 14. So we're almost at 60,000, which we'll hit develop. See, we finished our 4th iteration, so now we got the offer to develop. And what is our salaries? HR. About 75,000. So a couple more of these, and we're actually covering all of our costs. Oh, this will do it. So we'll take that and that. And that. We might have to hire another support person, but something needs maintenance. Oop, we don't want to hire you. And we'll just hire you. And I think we only need 1 receptionist, so we're gonna, because she's working, we can't fire her right now. And so we're gonna see how these go, because we're almost finished with our product here, and so hopefully these can take us all the way through, but they have to be able to get them kind of down to 0 at the end of the day, or else they'll get missed calls and the satisfaction will drop, and then it'll lower our business rating, which we do not want. So it looks like they're getting through them pretty well. Lunchtime, and we get to the end. Ooh, it's gonna be close. Looks like they were able to get there. Oh, nice. We're starting to get a couple followers too. The marketing has kicked off. I think we're gonna need another support. I don't think it's realistic, especially if one calls in sick. I don't know if that is the support team. It is not. You. I think we're gonna move this plant over here. We're gonna copy that. We're gonna get service support 9. splatter. Yeah. We'll do that. We'll go ahead and get one more support. Forgot. Usually I have separate teams, but I don't right now. So Kendrick McCarthy. Who are you? Kendrick McCarthy. Oh, that's the only seat available, but just to make sure, we're gonna leave them over here. And that's just because I put the little phone, so it makes them a little bit better at it. We are closing in here, so we're gonna pause, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna review our product, because we have a year before release. So with this review, it's going to tell us how good the product is, and it'll give us an option. 9.9. So we have nothing to do, so we're just going to wait. But if that was like a 7, you can do something that's called reiterate, and they'll kind of just make another version of it, and it'll make it better based on the critique. So just something to note. And we are closing in here. Come on, finish it up, and then we have a whole year for bugs. Wow, I guess I hired kind of a bigger team than I even thought I needed. That 100% promote, and then now we have a whole year for bugs, which is fantastic because we are going to get raving reviews when we launch, or not. They were bought out, so we have room. We'll take another deal. We'll take this one. We'll just kind of shrink those. And I don't want to put down here. Those followers are really growing. That's awesome. And now we're gonna have to order copies because I didn't build a printing room. Good. Now I think we'll wait because I think once we have big plans on a main headquarters kind of all throughout here. So don't want to just buy up a plot and build a printer right away because I want to see what we can do once we get a little money here. So hopefully our first launch goes well. We have a year for, and then we will do some fun stuff with that money, and it will center around Mr. Bison has some dreams about how his office will look surrounded by everyone else. He is the centerpiece of this magical company that he is named after himself because he's such a humble person, as all founders are. Consider a parking lot. Oh. That is something we have to do. Deal with that for now. Hopefully that satisfies them. So greedy. Small little indie gaming company. Everyone needs a parking spot. Can't just take the bus. We live in a nice, beautiful look at this town. Take a gander. Look at this. The beautiful neighborhood. I just noticed it's September. Do the trees change color for fall? That's a cool little feature. I have no idea where our company is. I got so into the trees, I lost where our company is. That's great. Now we're on the edge somewhere. This is such a funny thing to happen to you. Oh, nice little lake in the town. Now we're on the edge, so if we just kind of skip. Oh, there we are. Oof. All right, back to the Bison HQ. All right. So I would release this now, but I can't because we have the contract with the printing company. I think if you release it early, they sue you. I don't know if that's like based on quality or not. So not totally sure on that, but just gonna go ahead and keep letting them do their thing. Nice little bonsai trees. I really do like the logo here. Very nice. You walk in, you go, wow, Bison Incorporated. I heard you used to do bad and horrible work just a year ago, and now all of a sudden you're making your own product? Fantastic. Maybe I should have mixed up the trees, given them something else. Maybe not a tree on every desk, but what are you gonna do? So we're in November of 1983. I wonder. Take a look here. We're gonna open the event calendar. See if any 2D editors have been created. Jeannie Wood. 2 years, 1 sick day. All right, you get a raise. Sure. And then, so we're releasing in June. And we have 4 months before 2 competitors launch. That kind of stinks, but kind of is what it is. Can't really change it now. Everyone's just a little typing away. I'm gonna zoom in here, check out one of their offices. How you doing, Bison? Really do like this design. I think for the headquarters, this has inspired me a little bit for how his office is gonna go. We're gonna use some of this kind of glass, you know, as the namesake founder. And then one other thing we have to do eventually, which we might look into now, is we're gonna go to our own stocks. And this is a fun trick. So because they're founders, Norma and Fletcher, they don't get paid. They get paid in dividends. The more money you make, the more dividends you have to give them. But as long as they have stock, they work for your company. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy 99 shares from them and leave them with I don't believe 98 shares. Not buy out Fletcher until 1990. Alright, I guess you can't do it till 1990. Was unaware of that, but you know, you live and you learn. But anyway, in 1990, we will buy out 99 of their 100 shares, so they still have 1 share left, and then they will still work for us for basically free. And they will never quit because they are technically an owner of this company. But not really, because Mr. Bison will own 99 of their 100 shares each. We're closing in here. It's February. How are the deals? I saw something that we were losing deals. Looks like we did lose one, so we can pick up another one. Oh my god, we picked up... That's funny. We picked up support for an... Oh no, it's an audio tool. We're making 2D. Forgot. So a couple more months here and we get our final release. Looks like bugs are starting to slow down. 3,500 followers. That's a nice amount. We are gonna have to buy some copies. So I hope we're popular, but not too popular, because we do not want to go bankrupt in the beginning. We will not be able to afford that many copies. And it looks like support is doing pretty well. Oh no. We do not have security yet. Oh, all the computers. The burglars are stealing all the computers. What are they the trees too? You're taking the trees? Alright, so when that happens, the burglars are going to come in. You can hire security. And what you can do here is you can click that and it'll say kind of show you what they stole, and you'll hit this little restore furniture. Oof, that hurt. And then you can put it back. So you can hire security, especially later when you get more expensive stuff like printing and servers. That'll be an issue. So I'm gonna take a couple more support tasks because it seems like they are really the support team's really knocking everything out of the park. That's really keeping us afloat here. Look at our finances. I mean, yeah, they're making 120,000 a month. The only reason we can make a product. So it is May. So it is 1 month before 2D Bison Graphics hits the stores or the online distribution. Either way, we are closing in. Support team is still knocking it out. I'm not gonna get any more because they are gonna have to take over support for Bison Graphics as well. Here we go. All right, we're in June, so we're gonna hit pause. 3,596 followers. 666. Oh, jeez, that's not good. We're not even getting into that. Go ahead and hit release and see how we did. 3. All right, so we got 2 5 stars, and we just don't have any market recognition at this point. So that's kind of what this is. If we didn't go with the marketer and try to kind of did it ourselves, it's probably going to be 1 or 2. But because our marketing team that we hired had a little bit of marketing recognition, we were able to get up to 3 here. So we're going to go ahead and do 100,000 copies. And we are going to kind of pop this up here, grab our details, and we're going to kind of see how we do on our first day. And then, so now we have a support task for Bison, but we also need to, because we launched this in 1991, we have to update our systems. We're going to put that on our server. We're going to kind of update that immediately. So the first thing you want to do is get it to the highest quality, make it a 10, and then the second thing we're going to do is port. What porting does is it puts it, so there's 2 new operating systems that were launched that our product is not on, and that's 1.4 million people that we cannot sell it to. So the second thing we're gonna do is port that right there. So should have had it at the top. I forgot. Let's see if we can launch it, and we did get it out today, which is great. And then so now we can see our first sales. End of the day, let's see how we did. 56,000 in the first day. That is fantastic. Inspiring. Marketing's unavoidable. Quality is outstanding. How much did we make? 1.7 million. That's fantastic. So very shortly here in the next episode, we'll be able to build a beautiful headquarters. But until then, we're going to end it here, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.